Someone says, "Let's get it holy."
Yeah, boy, after that game last time, he got holy all over me.
Well, you're not tilted, it seems, Zach. You kind of have a good attitude.
Yeah, I've actually played a few of these matches before, and I've actually lost the first two we played. Once against
Mm,
Battle Branded and once against A1. So
yep.
I'm used to losing. I don't take it too hard.
That's kind of, but I think that's key to winning as well, to be able to, you know, keep your cool, no
No,
matter what
and
happens. Like basically, I think ultimately, you would want to, so long as you're playing well and you make the correct plays and you just, play to your outs and and play the matchups, the rest isn't within your control. So yeah, that's the
no,
best attitude to
I
have.
agree 100% with that attitude. I remember in one of the matches, I was pretty stressed out, and I don't know. I was definitely a little tilted. Definitely made some mistakes. Oh, uh-oh, we got a little issue here with the stream.
This one, huh?
It's off center for some reason here.
Okay, I'm not watching it, so I'm gonna trust your word on
Let's
this.
see.
Interesting, TIC Mike with the just the cards in his AN deck. Hmm.
Yeah, little bit of hate. I don't think that's going to be especially good against an AT deck, but I guess
Nope.
with the frost mains, it can have some use. Not
It has some use against Schwarzenegger.
hmm. I am not sure why it's crooked.
Interesting. I know nothing about streaming. I've never done, so I
Well,
can't
me
help you.
neither. So we got a couple of amateurs.
Exactly, exactly. It's amateur night.
All right.
Relic Scout is a crazy card.
Oh yeah, no, it's this AT deck. This was my bread and butter for a long time.
Me too.
I remember. You and I were playing AT when I don't know. There was something else ruling the meta, and yeah, I remember having you in the queues. And even though I hate the mirror,
It
it was
was
nice to
fun.
see
Yeah.
another AT deck.
Was it with you that actually there's someone I was talking about AT with when it wasn't good. So that was like, I mean, during 4.2, it was like the only non Duskmaw Hermit deck that was remotely playable, and it wasn't great, but it was playable, and we were also fed up of Duskmaw if we were just jamming it. Was it with you?
Yeah, no, it was just me.
Yeah,
Here, I'm
I
gonna
remember that. Yeah, I totally
hold on
remember
for
that.
me just a second. I'm gonna try refreshing this page and see if
Yeah,
that fixes our weird crooked issue. Hold on, everybody. Thanks for bearing with me here. Um, our usual streaming folks couldn't get it here. Couldn't be around today, so me and Rats are trying to jimmy it as best we me and Rats are trying to jimmy it as best we can here. So let's
I'll be
get
back,
this
right?
back up, and it cuts off the bottom half. Although,
That's
okay,
strange.
right now it looks like we can see enough. We can see the top half of Mike's cards and the bottom half are cut out. Let's
Right.
see if I resize the window. Oh, that helps. Okay, I got it. I got it. I don't know what's going on, but I think I fixed it.
Wonderful.
All right.
And what's the All-Star here again? One more time?
Oh man, that
Brainstorm
tyrant's just
Tyrant.
killing me.
This card is just so good.
Man, I remember when that card was released, and I was thinking, man, who would play this? Hurts your own guys, forget about it.
I remember thinking this card has potential. So I started playing not that long ago. I started in November basically. So it was released like right when I started. I was like, oh, this card has potential. Um, but I remember some players being immediately, jamming 3 of when nobody else was. And,
Uh-huh.
for instance, in the December WCQ, I think like Turkis was in like 3, and he was basically the only one, so far as I remember. There must have been other people, but like
Turkus always ahead of the curve. Safe
definitely
assumption, I
ahead of the
think,
curve.
that
Yeah,
he
definitely
knew
ahead
what was
of the
up.
curve. And like it was so correct. The card just adds such like a new dimension to the deck, which is um it's key to it being able to come back from behind. It
Mm-hmm.
has very few other tools that are that good when you're behind. And the card is just crazy. And now with Windspark, it's also like this ridiculous win con.
Yep, even extra good. Exactly. So I haven't been watching too close, but I was talking with Mike about his deck. It's a Echoes deck. He's running Conjurer and Patron and looking to bring guys back and drain life while he's doing it and keep the board flooded with cards like Ebon Skull and keep the opposing board shrunk with cards like Patron.
Love the style deck. It's fun.
Oh, Tyrant is just the right card there.
I want to, I mean, because why not? I mean, I don't like doing this, but I will. Uh, I will always remember this tournament. I think it was the make up like WCQ for people who didn't make the cut.
Okay.
Um, I think it was that tournament, but Wrath of Croft, came up with this essentially mono-Necrium deck that was splashing, just the cards, and then running Cacklebones, which we all think wasn't that great looking back, but but the Arbiters combined with the mono-Necrium,
Mm-hmm.
Crypt Conjure Shell is just insane,
Right.
and it all got better with Immortal Echoes printed.
So, boy, this is a great 2.1 for Holy Ghost.
You think?
Yeah. Now, I don't think he wants to blow that Tyrant up, Like, although it would be nice to clear out that Duskmaw before it can get any value. What do
I
you
mean,
think?
so, so I think
Would you lay down the Tyrant and just and kill it?
well, I think you play one tyrant for sure on the scout,
Uh-huh.
um, and then the question is Aeronaut or Tyrant two, and I think you have to Aeronaut.
I think so too.
Yeah,
That Aeronaut 2. I was just thinking, Relic 2, Aeronaut 2 is just an almost unbreakable card, But no, this is
it is.
definitely
Yeah,
right. It's definitely
yeah,
better
yeah.
to clear that Duskmaw out.
Yeah. So the thing is, like in player level 3, you know, Brimstone 2 is still very good.
Mm-hmm.
It's arguable that the jump in power level between Aeronaut 2 and Aeronaut 3 is bigger than between Brimstone 2 and Brimstone 3. I don't know. I mean, but I at least like having access to the 2 level 3s.
Yep. No, I'm with you, and this next one looks dangerous as well with the Explosives 2 and the Windspark.
Yep.
That's got some damage potential. That's if there's even 2 creatures left on the board though at the end of its turn. Not a guarantee, not a sure thing.
Well, if there aren't, um, that would be very bad for Mike.
Right. No, it's a win-win either way for sure.
Ouch.
Yeah.
This is about to hurt a lot.
This feels really familiar. I gotta say, getting beat down by Holy Ghost Zoratech deck here is bringing back bad memories from 5 minutes ago.
But not quite with early Windspark.
No, this is definitely new. I didn't even think he was running Windspark necessarily, even though it's such a staple for the deck because I hadn't seen
Yeah.
any until that one turn where his Scorchmane took out my board and killed me.
And the question then was still how many is he running, right? And I think now that we see his hand, he's at least on 2.
Yeah, I think 2 is the most common.
Yeah, Yep.
number. That would
Sure.
be my guess. 3 seems like a lot. That's a lot of small bodies in your AT good stuff deck, and
Absolutely.
that's not necessarily what you want.
So, like, I'm willing to run 3 in decks that don't run shenanigans like just the car,
Hmm.
um, and that, use the other slots beyond, like, the core slots. So, like, there's maybe, like, what, like 3 or 4 other flex slots, depending on what you're willing to cut. Um, I'm willing to go to 3 in decks that use these extra slots for things that have high attack. Um, but you can't afford to have extra small bodies or extra spells that don't do that much with
Right.
15 sparks.
No, I agree 100% here. All right. Well, if this
So
looks
another interesting thing to point out, so I don't know if TIC Mike is running, so just Mike, if he's running Arbiters. I mean,
hmm
Arbiters are excellent, are really, really good in that matchup. Um, and that was the tech that kind of um, was so good in that tournament where there was essentially, like 85 or 90% AT decks, and then a few other things, and this, AN Crypt Conjure deck that was running Arbiters. If he's not running Arbiters, um, the reach that a card like Windspark gives you can make it really, really, really hard
hmm
for the AN Crypt Conjure deck to come back. Like they have to be pressuring you from player level 1,
Yep.
and if they're not, they're just dead. Um, this is how this game goes.
Yeah,
In my experience.
I am almost positive he isn't running any arbiters, and so
Mm.
there's not much of an answer there. Ghost can just keep laying down those relic scouts. He is running Leyline Demon, but I didn't see any
So
triggers despite the many scouts that went down. There might have been one early that I
yeah, I
missed.
might have 1 or 2, but they were on at level 1, and level 1 demon. But yeah,
Well, that's certainly that was an educational game in demonstrating how AT can, just take control and run with it if
so
the other
long
deck
as it's
doesn't
not
have.
playing against dinos. Yes,
Yeah, it's only Ghost is opening his packs on stream.
that's funny.
Yeah, so it's I mean, if it gets that momentum going, it can be very hard to stop. However, like, I feel like the deck Mike is running has some good answers. Like,
Yeah,
it has a lot of shrink,
yeah,
which AT is weak against, at least to a certain extent, because it can reduce those big bodies, giving cards like, Rage or Explosives less power.
yeah.
But it definitely didn't work out that time, and there was never any Echoes train that got going. That was a
Yeah.
tough game for Mike.
He, like Mike also has tools to put pressure early on, but he was just on the back foot from the very beginning of the game,
Hmm.
and I don't think that's how the matchup would go like normally. That's how it goes like sometimes, but not that often.
Yep,
Um,
I
and that's
uh,
another
I
thing, like
agree.
when you're on the back foot versus a deck like um, AT good stuff, like you need things like a ton of huge bodies to have easy ways to come back, or
Hmm.
things like maybe Embryo's Edict can help also. Um, but the way the game played out, like
Turn one Justicar again. That must have
yeah,
been
it's
a
not
weak hand.
exciting.
I know that it
It's
doesn't
not exciting.
want to be leading with Justicar. That's just not the right card for
Not
this matchup.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Where are his script conjurers?
That's what I'm wondering as well. Although it might be, I might just be confused, and he might be running. Well, no, I don't know. Maybe they're
Uh,
just hiding.
yeah, he's not
If you
drawing.
if you
Yeah,
don't see him player level 1, then they're not much good player level 2. A
it,
3/8's tough to
it depends on
justify.
how far behind you are on board. Like if you can afford to sneak some in channel two,
Hmm.
um, I mean, I actually think it's quite important because that's part of how um you prevent the gap between your life total and theirs from getting too huge.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Tetraman saying Mike use a contract to block last game. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Mike also said that he's running them, before. just talking about this deck, but yeah. So like during player level 2, like even if they're like under leveled, it can really put you in a position where you get into player level 3, your life total, the gap between your life totals isn't that big, even if you're slightly behind, and then you can just start, churning out the leveled Crypt Conjurers and just playing house, and the game gets out of hand. That's kind of how you just get away with it, run away with it, sorry. So like they're not awful during player level 2, but you need a spot where you can play them without losing too much value.
Yeah, and there was certainly no opportunity there in that second game with Holy Ghost so far ahead on the board. Like the little bit of life that the Crypt Conjurer can give you just isn't going to be enough.
That's right.
Oh, he gets to dodge that Ebon Skull. Not bad. I wonder if he'll just let it hit him for the rest of the player level.
Why not level Shadow Bolt? That's an interesting question.
Oh, not running any armor.
I know, but the level 2 Shadow Bolt actually does something, whereas the level 1 doesn't do anything.
Oh wait, he played Shatterbolt. Oh.
No, sorry. He played Battleground, and then you had the option of leveling Windspark or leveling Shadowbolt.
Well,
and I agree that leveling Windspark is very powerful. Level 3 is just so good. But you're not always in a position where you end up, getting into player level 3, at least, for builds that aren't looking to play them to the board early.
But it can also, it can be useful to have the slightly larger body as well, because putting a 2/7 down can be punished. So I don't know. I think it's all right if he makes the decision to level the Windspark over the Shatterbolt when like the difference between 5 and I think it's 9 damage, like that can be big. But I don't know. I'm with him here. I think he did all right.
It can target face. Easy to forget. Yeah.
Yeah, and that could be important. We'll see. It's this is definitely looking closer so far.
Definitely.
With Mike able to keep this Ebon Skull hitting the face.
It's still no Crypt Conjurers. Where are the Crypt Conjurers? You're just hiding.
Yeah, I imagine like you want to be putting those down. That's one of those cards you want leveled. That's where the power comes from in a deck like this, I think.
I think it's a big part of it. But like all that said, like something to be pointed out is look at the life totals, and we're probably going to enter level 1 with both players, with like relatively close life totals. And if the Crypt Conjurer deck doesn't get behind on life during player level 1, and if it can still keep up on life during player level 2, the game is usually over. So AT has as its trump card Windspark, and that's the one thing that can sometimes get you out of it. And maybe that's the reason to try to get level 3 Windsparks in your deck.
Sure.
But it's an interesting thing to keep an eye on right now, the fact that, both players are at parity on life totals.
No, absolutely, and Mike will have a lot of power if he makes it to player level 3 in reasonable shape with cards like Howl and the Conjurers and that kind of thing can have so much burn so fast. Yeah, I thought that was a dicey Relic Scout play. Knowing he's playing demons, I don't think you should be playing Relic Scouts in player level 1.
Oh, I don't know. It's interesting. Oh, so your thought is you don't play them player level 1, but you play them after?
Right, exactly. Because at that point, a level 1 demon is not scary in player level 2, or player level 3. That I would, especially in AT when Breakthrough can do some like really good stuff, and getting that extra little bit of armor can help. Like, you want those scouts, but not at the cost of allowing him to level a demon right before player level 2 starts.
Interesting.
Because now
So
he has to be so worried about playing a Relic Scout in player level 2, you know? And all he got for it was an extra 1 attack, 1 health, and 1 armor on that aeronaut. It just doesn't seem worth it to me.
so yeah, I could see going either way on this, but I definitely see your point. The thing that I find most dicey there was playing the aeronaut in middle lane. I don't know why he did that. Did he need to do it to trade with other creatures?
No,
What's
so
going on with that?
this is something I've sort of thought about for when you're going against a Necreum deck like this. The armor that
Yes,
the Aeronaut has while he's on the defensive is not important at all, you know,
it is
because
if you're
there's no
blocking.
direct
That's the
damage.
thing. He was blocking a demon here. I
Oh,
normally
the
like
demon
from the
only came
bridge.
on after he played it, didn't he? Didn't it?
No. So there was a demon in lane 3, and he put the aeronaut in front of it. Um, and then there's a demon that popped in lane 4, uh, that just triggered. But there was a hard cast demon in lane 3, and he just put the arrow in front of it. And
Hmm.
I think that was a mistake.
Yeah, you might be right there. That demon isn't very scary. He doesn't have to block that for an extra couple points of damage.
Right. And you want to keep, bodies around for, I mean, you must keep bodies around for your explosives. It's just one of the way that the deck loses is by not having those. Um,
Absolutely. And see now
Now
if
you
he
scout for sure.
hadn't played those scouts, he wouldn't have to worry about there being a level 2 or 2 level 2 leyline demons popping up
What?
here. Oh,
Okay, I see. I
okay.
see.
Not a bad
Here's what
thought.
he's doing. Yeah,
Wouldn't you just rather play the Windweaver though? I mean,
yes, I
without
would
the
rather play
scout?
Windweaver. I would absolutely rather play Windweaver. But maybe that's what was going on, that he was counting on being able to play just cars to mitigate some of the damage from those demons. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I still think that not playing Windweaver is a huge mistake.
Boy, and this is he's punished.
Again,
Although he
because of
has a board
explosives,
clear
right?
here.
Again, because of explosives. Like here, yeah, he has no good play. I mean, Brimstone will do work. Brimstone will do good work.
Yeah, this has to be Battle Relic Hunter overwritten then by the Tyrant, I think, just to get
Yeah.
control back.
Yes. Yes. Someone saying the threat of demon messed up Julio's play. Yeah, or arguably the thing to do once you've committed in player level 1 to just play your scouts is you keep playing your scouts and you bite the bullet. If the demon trigger, it triggers.
Nope.
You know, and I think
And
that's actually a valid strategy. But
yeah, if you want to roll the dice, I mean, I've certainly played that way in the past and had it be successful, and also had it, you know, be pretty awful as well. You know, that can really turn the game in a hurry if you're carelessly playing those scouts.
you can for sure go both ways. Why is
He'd
no?
rather level the Rage here or the Shatterbolt, I guess, than the Relic Hunter. I think that's, I don't know, one way or
I
another. It's not a huge deal.
but do you level rage? Why are you leveling rage?
Yeah, I think I would have preferred either Shatterbolt or Relic Hunter, either one, to
He's
the
actually like
Rage.
letting, yeah, like he's leaving like so all the relic hunters really are like remaining dead cards in the deck, as well as the Shadowbolts is remaining a dead card.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
All right, our Conjurer finally out.
yeah, and now it's going to start doing the kind of work that it can do. You see, so even though it's under leveled,
Yeah, no,
because TIC Mike is doing well on life total, um, he's just going to start, like increasing the gap between his own life total and Holy Ghost's life total,
yep,
and that's how the deck wins. Um, at least that's how the deck puts the game away and seals it up.
right. All right. Well, if Mike has a big hand here, I mean, he needs it with another level 2 coming out and going into player level 3. Mike needs to try and get control of this board. You know, this is I think he'd ideally. Here we go. Okay, not bad. So he's got some burn going with some life drain with the conjurers and Holy Ghost is left with just one creature on the board.
I
Not
like my
bad.
position in this game. In this spot specifically.
Now, do you
It's good to use
explosives that
Scorchmane
Conjurer, or do
Yeah,
you put down a
Scorchmane.
level 1 card, level 1 creature?
I mean, Scorchmane Tyrant is very, very tempting.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see why. Would be nice to have that level 2 Scorchmane in the deck, although it would also be nice to keep that Windweaver at 8 health. Not a huge deal going into player level 3, but having it go down to 2 means that, you know, a card like Epidemic or 2 Tendrils could just kill it outright. Yeah, it looks like he wants to get rid of that Conjurer fast. He's at 54 right now, and that seems like a lot maybe, but definitely isn't against a deck like this.
Oh yeah. So it's an interesting, question to ask about, different Soulforge decks that aren't like extremely fast, which is like, you know, what are they really doing in player level 3? Are they locking up the game in some sort of way that just like makes it impossible or nearly impossible for the opponent to come back?
Mm-hmm.
Or are they just putting themselves in a position where they have a massive amount of powerful things they can do? So, which makes them, there's a lot of things that would just win them the game on the spot, which I think is more the kind of thing that the AT deck is doing. It's very rare that it kind of gets in this position where the opponent can't do anything and come back.
Mm-hmm.
But by player level 3, the deck has just a ridiculous density of things that win the game almost on the spot, of very powerful things. Whereas a deck like the Crypt Conjurer deck, I mean, arguably by player level 3 is trying to make it so that the gap in life totals just keeps increasing to the point where there's nothing the opponent can do. And there's, very few other decks that run, much ways of gaining life while dealing damage. So it's not a kind of angle, the game that very many other decks are, are good at battling.
Yeah, Conjurer is definitely a one-of-a-kind kind of card, and I don't have much experience playing it because it always seemed, I don't know, I prefer creature-based decks as opposed to spell-based decks, and and so I never really gave it a shot myself. But that having been said, I like the card, and I like the kinds of decks you brew with it. It's you're right. It's a different sort of feel to be having their deck attacking your life total in this way, as opposed to the AT deck, which is putting down these monster creatures and has the potential, if for monster burn as well with a card like Windspark.
Yep.
Holy Ghost continues his run. He's getting good cards. Poor Mike had a level 1 and a level 2, but he needs more than that if he wants to keep parity even.
Needs to take this Windspark out really fast.
Oh yeah, no, that's so dangerous. All right, Conjurer 2 is a good start. Help him build up a little more life, because that's what he needs. You can't be, when you're as low as like 47, or after another attack from something getting down to 30, like it's just it's too low against this deck with these Windsparks and the rage and the explosives. Like you want more cushion, and Mike's building it for himself. This is a good start.
This Dustmall was from Immortal Echoes, right?
Right, exactly. The second trigger from that. Now, interesting. Does Holy Ghost want to push damage here? I don't know if he can afford to. But he also wants that Conjurer off the board immediately.
Yeah, I think
so he might elect to do a Windweaver Explosives play.
Yeah, I
But
think
then
he
you don't
needs
get to play your dragon. I don't know. It'd be hard to pass that up as an AT player, you know?
Yeah, I think you have to get the country off the board. Um,
Boy, I don't know if I would have the guts to do it in in this game. I gotta say, I don't
and
know
the
if
other
I
thing is
could
like you need to
resist.
push damage. You know, that's the other thing. Like the later the game goes, the harder it's going to get for you know, Holy Ghost to. Well, I guess he has access to Windspark, but you know, outside of Windspark shenanigans, the
Hmm.
harder it's going to get for him um, to just kill TIC, to kill Mike. So I would value pushing damage here, but it's not obvious at all. I think you're totally right.
Yeah, very tricky play here. I'm not surprised Holy Ghost
Some yeah.
wants to think about this one.
There's probably something to be said too for like just like blocking the Crypt Conjurer with your dragon, um, and I don't know.
I think it
If
would
he,
maybe be Windspark in 2 or 4, moving the Tyrant over to kill the Duskmaw, because otherwise your other card is going to be in lanes 2 through 4 and is going to be vulnerable
to the dust
to a
right?
Tendril.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, and it
yeah,
looks like that's what he's going with.
yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense.
All right, we'll see if this works out. I feel like that was a key play
And you see
in
with
this
those
game.
scouts, you know, like I think the point you were making was very, very interesting, which is that you know, like that's what you were saying earlier on, right? You get diminishing. Sorry, you get much greater returns. It's like the opposite of diminishing returns from the scouts, even if it's under level.
Hmm.
The later the game goes, because the
Right, because
breakthrough
they've
becomes
got
much
these
more
leveled
important.
demons, and
And yeah, and now like in player level 3, he's forced not to play these scouts because he was just playing them, um, you know, a lot during player level
exactly.
1.
There's at
Yeah,
least one, maybe two level 3 demons. I think just one. But
yeah.
you just can't afford that getting onto the board for free. You know that's just too dangerous.
Or at least like you can afford letting it happen when they're under leveled, is the
Uh-huh.
thing. And when your creatures are, you know, getting so much more advantage from the breakthrough.
Right. Although I mean, a scout on that level 3 Frostmane Dragon would have been pretty nice.
That's the thing.
Yeah, no, I hear it. It's a give and take. There's not maybe not a single right answer, but I told you how I do it is if I know
Oh,
there's demons in the deck, I'm not playing any scouts in player level 1 so that I can play them later.
and now you could have played it is what I meant, right? That's
Yeah,
I was yeah, I was saying like, you know, precisely like, you know, like the
if
point
the
you were
worst
making
that would
is
happen was a level 2 demon coming up, that's not the end of the world in the same way that a 14/16 is. You know, an 8/10 isn't as scary at this point.
yeah, exactly. And you know, and just the same, giving breakthrough to something that has like 16, 17, 18 attack is
Uh-huh.
much scarier than giving breakthrough to something that has like 5 or 6 or 7 attack.
Yep, that it just allows you to take out their creatures and still push damage, and they can't chump block things. No, it's Scout's clearly an incredible card, and the choice you have in this kind of game, in this kind of matchup, is how to best deploy it, when you want that value, and what you're exchanging it for at different points in the game.
Okay, people are saying the stream is broken.
Oh, okay. I haven't checked on it in a while here. Let's
So, okay, I've seen the screenshot and it's like,
yeah,
um,
there's this stuff on the side that I don't know how to get rid of, but I'm letting it hang because everything else is
we can
so
at least
good.
see
Is
the
that all
game.
right?
Okay, so hang with us, guys. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't wanna fiddle with that little side of the thing yet. I will in our next break, for
And
sure.
we have full information, so like you can enjoy the game still.
That's how I'm looking at it. We've got what counts here. There is a little
Exactly.
extra stuff to the side. I wish we had a fully professional presentation, but that'll come. we'll get that. These team leagues, by the way, these team leagues are so awesome. I'm so glad that they're happening. And I'm really looking forward to continuing with this and having this go on every week. And we've got a couple more matches this week scheduled. I think it's just so fun. So
Yeah,
the presentation,
it's fun.
as more experienced streamers get a handle on this, and
Exactly.
it'll improve. This is the first one. We've had some difficulties, but we're still seeing some great SoulForge games.
There's another way of putting this, which is that for so many of these events, for a while, Dark Hands has just been putting on the streams, and he's really good at it. And the rest of the community has gone lazy and hasn't learned how to put on a good stream for these events.
That is that's a great point. That's definitely what I've been doing, and it's I gotta say it's really fun to be on the other side of it and to be part of this sort of content creation as opposed to just a consumer. And I would highly recommend that people out there, there's no reason not to stream. It's fun. Your play gets better. As people are watching you and can help you improve. It's been a real blast starting to get into that. And I'm definitely planning on doing more streaming and being a part of the team leagues. And I would really like it if, a lot of other people got on board because, man, it's fun, and it's the more SoulForge content out there, the better, Help the game grow and help this, I don't know. It's really fun to be a part of.
I'd love to stream, and I will look into doing it eventually, but I don't have a PC.
That's trouble. Micah is currently in the same boat where he would love to stream. He'd be a great streamer, but the lack of support for Apple makes it so that he can't. Although there was that
that post today, right? You saw?
Pardon?
There was a post today
Yes.
that was saying someone found a way of making setting it up more easily.
And hopefully that'll open the door for a lot of folks in your position and Mike's position, where it can open up the streaming platform. Boy, have you seen these last few turns? We got to get back to this game because Holy Ghost is in the danger zone. 13 health. That's just one howl away.
Yep. So we talked, I don't know, it wasn't Witchy, but I think it was during the last game we talked about the way you build these AT decks and how much rooms you want to make for hate cards like Shadowbolt and Justicar and so on. And one thing that you start cutting when you want to make room for those is either you cut the Wind Sparks, or you end up cutting Korok, which are the kind of tools that make this kind of board positioner not unwinnable. But the way that Holy Ghost's deck is built, I mean, this is as close to unwinnable as it gets.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's always tough thinking about the splash in AT because it seems like from that core, you're always removing something that helps you achieve your objectives, and it's just really tough to make the kinds of cuts necessary. You're losing power by including cards, like Shatterbolt or like Justicar, for example. And sometimes they're very important for certain matchups, but it's also it's a tough choice. And I do not think Holy Ghost can win this now. I think this is this has got to be it.
Count however you want. It's not happening.
Nope, not happening. Not with just the battle brain.
There's no tyrants. There needed to be a tyrant there.
All right, good game, guys. That was a nail biter.
Yeah. Tyrant 3 would have been enough. Yeah.
Yep. All right, I'll be right back. I gotta get some water. I'm not a big talker usually. It's been hard on me.
Good. Tyrant 2 would also have been enough. I'm doing my math wrong. Thanks to the doubling on Windspark. So people in the chat What do you think about this 6.1 meta game so far and the new cards that have been introduced? So to my mind today, like the one card from the new set that's been an all-star is Patron of Tarsus. But other than that, really, we haven't seen a card make a huge impact. So I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. I was asking people in chat what they think of the impact of 6.1 so far.
Mm-hmm.
And beyond Patron of Tarsus, today we've seen nothing.
Yeah, not a lot so far. Patron of Tarsus. Oh no, we saw Patron of Deepwood from Chort.
Yeah, but it wasn't winning in the game.
Yeah, no,
so
that's true.
Like, how much of an impact it have? I mean,
but Fifth Faction, they
from him, like, but it was also not winning in the game.
Yeah, Fifth Faction had an excellent anti-dinos list. I'm not sure if that was exactly what they had in mind when leading off with it. But I feel like it probably was, because dinos in one form or another is so powerful and so prevalent right now.
In the format, right? I mean, until people figure out if there are, until people figure out how to really abuse the 6.1 cards, I think we can just safely say dinos is the best deck.
Yep. I would agree, but they led off with this this deck that countered it very well, and I'm not surprised he wasn't able to get value from those patrons, because there were sentries, there was Justicar, like it was a very bad deck, leading with the scouts
and the Justicar. So his plan is essentially, let's try to run out my Justicar as much as I can, so that I kind of like negates the effect of the demons.
Right, and I see what he's doing, because like on the one hand, he wants Justicar around. That's a good card for him to have in play. It's a good one for him to have leveled, because there's so many Immortal Echoes going on.
Your deck. So he was prioritizing them very highly versus Hugh, in which case, I don't know. I found that questionable, because you were not running Echoes, and it became clear for the games went on.
But it's also like, if you don't have the Justicar around, you can't play those scouts, and I just don't know if it's worth it in player level 1, where you're not necessarily extremely concerned with doing damage or the board state or whatever. A lot of AT's power, I think, comes later in the game, in player level 2, where they can really muscle things home. It just seems like you're, I don't know, that it'd be better to have those demons be level 1 in player level 2. But definitely a stylistic choice. This isn't wrong by Holy Ghost by any means. I'm not a good enough player to say that. He beat me after all.
I'm very rusty with AT. I haven't touched it at all since set 6, and
well, it's just so bad against dinos that it's one you don't really want to run in the constructed queue anymore.
Just don't run it. Yeah. I don't think you ever want to bring it to a huge tournament either. It's perfect for this kind of tournament where you can.
Definitely, it is a great choice, I think, because it's versatile. It has a lot of ways it can win. It has a lot of different things it can do. I think it's a great choice from Fifth Faction, but
precisely because they can choose to choose to bring it in once they know what you guys are playing. So like if you guys win a set of games, and they know that you're on, some kind of list that isn't dinos, then they can just choose to bring AT in. And that's what makes it, I think, in this like 4-deck gauntlet that you need to bring to these.
Yeah, it's a really really wonderful format. I really like.
One thing I'm not fully clear on about the format is, just what do we mean when we say you can't bring back the same deck? Do we mean not the same 30 cards?
Yeah, there's a bit of ambiguity there, right? Like,
you haven't specified that. It hasn't been specified in the rules, and I think, like, it would be very easy to build an NU dino list and then a mono U dino list and be like, these are two very different decks, and they are.
Sure. But if you, so Yeah, I had a similar kind of concern, right? But the more I thought about it, the more okay it seemed. So it's true that, like, technically by the rules, you could run a Mono Utera and an NU dinosaur list, but you almost wouldn't want to because you could have a counter deck to that so easily, and then you've got this other dinosaurs deck that you've snuck in, but you wouldn't really want to play it against this deck, and you've wasted one of your deck slots potentially. That
So suppose that, yeah, okay.
I don't know. I don't anticipate it being a huge issue. I'd be okay if a team ran both a Mono U and a NU Dinos list, but I don't think that is going to come up too often because of the sort of like weaknesses that strategy can have.
I would bet that it will come up a lot, but just saying.
We'll see how dirty the
The
teams
thing is,
get.
like, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's playing dirty. It hasn't been specified by the rules, and you just play with the rules. But um, I mean, we could decide from now on to get a bit clearer on that. Maybe say like, decks can't share more than 20 cards or maybe
Mhm.
more than 15. I don't know. Uh,
Originally, when it was when we were thinking about this, different faction pairings was the rule that you couldn't repeat the same faction pairing,
mhm, mhm,
and
mhm.
that seems like it would give a really like good variety to the kinds of decks we saw, but would also like it would be a little unnecessarily limiting, I feel, because an NU Wegu list looks very different than a NU Dinos list, and they're totally you know they're
Or
totally different
80 good
decks.
stuff and 80 Stasis Warden and like yeah,
Precisely, exactly.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. So I still think about this like two dinos point. I mean, look, it's the best deck, and until we figure extra things out, which we haven't, um, and given that it's the best deck, um, sure, someone can bring like one dino hate deck, but like how many decks are there that really crush dino? I mean,
Oh, probably. I mean, certainly not enough for the meta right now. I think we can
so what I
all
mean,
agree.
right? So I mean, I would strongly consider having, if there's a good enough mono U build, having an NU build as well in my gauntlet, just so that I know, like, oh, finally you've like decided to play AT. Okay, let's bring back the dinos.
Yeah,
It's a,
I share your concern, and
mhm.
it isn't really for us to decide right at this moment. But I feel like the team leaders are going to be getting together and talking that issue over because I think that you are absolutely right. It needs to be codified one way or another as
Yep.
far as what's allowed and what isn't.
Yep.
So this game has started very well for Mike. He has 3 extra cards leveled in his Leyline demons. He's been
Mhm.
pushing the Immortal Echoes despite the presence of the Justicars. Maybe as an investment for later, maybe just to get a little spell damage in. But this is pretty cool so far, I think. It'll lead to some
So about
interesting
the
choices for Holy Ghost, depending on whether or not
absolutely.
he sees those Justicars.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna need to play every just card he's using.
Yeah,
But
100%. I think he's gonna play a
yeah.
Justicar this coming turn on 2.1 because Mike has leveled 2 Echoes and has 3 Leyline Demons around.
But that's again the tricky thing with running those Jester cards, which is like in a spot like this, you would like to be able to play as many Tempest creatures as you can to,
Yep.
open the door to like Rage of Cards blowouts. Because again, like look at those life totals. I
Right.
mean,
That's exactly the point about the losing power through your splash, through those flex slots.
yeah,
Justicar isn't, even though it's so good in this matchup, it isn't good at doing what AT wants to do. It doesn't have
exactly,
mobility. It doesn't have high attack.
exactly. And the thing versus dinos, and this is kind of maybe this, strange thing for me to say, but I mean, I think the Dinos matchup is just so bad that, it might not even be worth dedicating slots to it, at
Hmm.
least not for this kind of format. I mean, if you're playing, Conq and, being very stubborn and think that AT good stuff is still, tier 1, uh, then maybe you can run your just cards. But for this kind of format where you can choose to bring in AT when you know that the deck isn't going to be Dinos,
Uh-huh.
you know, you just like, yeah, there seems to be like no reason not to make sure that every slot in the deck is used for things that fit directly into the game plan.
I see exactly what you're saying. That's definitely a good point, and it points to the sort of extra layer of strategy when the
Mm,
teams are putting this kind of thing
hmm
together, feeling out their deck list, deciding what to play when, what to lead off with. If, for
hmm
example, TIC had led off with zombies against that awesome Dino
Yeah,
hate deck,
yeah,
then they would have lost it for the duration of the tournament and wouldn't have been able to bring it out when we did play Dinos.
yeah. Oh, there's certainly some mind games that are going to be happening, especially after this one, because like I do, at least for myself. I mean, I haven't thought really hard about the format.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, I've definitely, as like we were talking about these games, made up my mind about quite a few things. Or just, I started having ideas about quite a few things about the format. And from now on, these mind games are going to get more and more interesting.
And that's going to be very fun, at least for me,
Hmm
to watch that develop over time. I'll reiterate my excitement for this league and the sort of potential it has for SoulForge as a whole. I think this is like just a really cool thing that can get a lot of people interested and has a lot of value.
I agree.
All right, he elects not to play the Justicar, despite an active Immortal Echoes. He would rather
He
clear
need,
the board.
yeah, he needs to push damage is the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he needs to get a start on Mike's life total for sure, because otherwise player level 3 is just going to get very dangerous. But he's not in a bad spot. He's got the Windweaver on board. He's got 2 level 2s in his 2.2 hand. He's got to be feeling pretty good here. I mean, at
I
least
wouldn't.
not. He doesn't have to be feeling bad about his chances. He can gain
Yeah,
control, keep control, push through the damage potentially.
that's
We'll
yeah,
see
that's
what Mike has to counter those kinds of ideas.
Have we seen a Windspark in his hand or piled this
Nope,
clear level?
he's just running the
So you
2.
only running two, yeah. And he's on three Justicars, right?
Yeah, 3 Justicars definitely because he's leveled 2, and then he had
Yeah,
level 1 in his hand on that 2.1.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, was that a was that a scythe there on that Conjurer? Yeah,
hmm
a level 2. Oh, excellent. So Mike is feeling real good about his board right here. This is exactly what you want, especially because Holy Ghost doesn't have any answers right here, like an explosives and the aeronaut, for example. This unkillable, at least next turn conjurer is definitely going to do some work. Boy, I don't even know what the play here is.
I'd be tempted to attack, then Tyrant 2 over Windweaver in, yeah, probably move Windweaver to lane 4, and then Aeronaut middle lane.
Yeah, that would be enough, assuming there wasn't any shrink.
Not
Looks like
there.
he's going to do that, but maybe keep it in
Yeah.
5.
I mean, it's not huge, but yeah.
No, not huge, but he would definitely rather have it in 4 for the potential mobility options.
So, like, the other point, actually, I might be just, like, wrong. Uh, yeah, it might be that it's just still correct to put it in 5, just because now you have the options to go to 3 lanes with aeronaut,
Yep.
and it might be that your plan A is to kill that Crypt Conjurer with explosives or something.
Absolutely right. I think Holy Ghost
Good.
play here was better than mine because you
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
want to
yeah, yeah,
block with that aeronaut because, you know, there's so
yeah,
much shrink available to Mike.
yeah.
No, that would be a
Oh, for sure.
bad
You
block.
definitely don't want to block it.
Yeah. And it looks like he'll get to clear it out with a battle brand, potentially.
With
All
these
right, and
though.
Mike is working on his life total, just getting it low enough to put away in player level 3. Hmm.
What?
Yeah, I don't know about this line.
What just happened?
I mean, he didn't want to
What?
level.
What did he just do? Like, so
So
if he was going to do this, he
yeah,
could have played
I
the Scorchman
totally
in line
agree.
two.
He wanted the Scorchmane and the Juice Dakar on the field when for Mike's next turn, and but no, I think he needed to kill that Conjurer fast because
And like he could have done it just like with the Scorchman. I mean, yeah.
oh yeah.
Scorchman was killing it. He killed a patron of Tarsus level 1 with this.
Yeah, no, that's boy. Yeah, we'll see
He lost the game
if
right
this
there. I
gets.
mean, the game is he lost the game right there. Yeah, someone's saying he wanted to give it, give you guys match 5. I believe that's fair. I don't think that was a misclick at all.
Hmm.
Someone
No,
in the
I don't
chat is
either.
saying he
I don't either.
misclicked. It was a brain fart, which we all have.
Yep, it was, and that's tough because that's gonna put him down to 39 at the end of this turn,
Yep.
just with battle damage, and he's gonna have to,
The
boy,
game is
put
finished.
something in front of it to kill it, and this is getting way too low against this deck.
It's over. So we're gonna get a game 5, match 5 though, which is good, which we're excited about.
Yeah, very exciting. I'm,
He
well,
feels
though
he
we'll
feels
see.
guilty
We
about his.
can't count him
Look,
out
look,
yet.
look. Someone's saying, he felt guilty about the draws he had in previous games. That makes sense.
Well, then I wish he would have done that against me, you know. Hmm. I think maybe a rage here. I'd be tempted to let the scout eat the conjurer, but oh, and he can with the Justicar on the field. But then you
Yes.
have the potential of leveling these level 2 demons for free into... Oh no, but Mike has already started player level 3.
Yeah.
So you
So
wouldn't have to
you're
worry
fine
about
playing
level 3
Relic Scout here.
demons.
Yeah. You're totally fine playing Relic Scout here.
Yep, I would just fill the board up with creatures, I think, and hope that I could push through enough damage. Hope I drew like a Wind Spark and a Rage next turn.
So sadly, because of the way, how does it? I actually don't recall how the demon trigger um, ordering works. So suppose that you play Scout, you play Windweaver in 3, um, and you Rage. The demons come in after the Rage, right?
Yes, the demons come in after the Rage.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm. Looks like he wants to push damage this turn with the Tyrant rather than have the Frostmane Dragon on the field.
But
And
if you want to do
I can't
that,
say that's
why?
a bad
If you want to do
choice
that, why did you play Windweaver? Oh yeah, okay, I see.
because
No, you're
he
correct.
wants to get Mike's life total down as fast as
Yeah, I
possible.
was.
So
Yeah, and
I respect that decision.
yes, I agree. Yeah, but I mean, I'm still not sure that you. Oh, I don't know. Hmm. Okay. 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 Yeah, I see it.
Oh, no big damage pushers. We'll see if his board is big enough to weather whatever drain Mike can bring out. It's like I say, we called it a little early, saying things like the game's over, but it definitely isn't. Although this shrink isn't helping.
It's not literally over, but it
Yeah,
is.
I'm trying to keep the suspense going, Rats. We got
Folks,
to
you should really, 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 be on the edge of your seat right now because we
yeah,
have
we
no
got
idea what's about to happen.
everybody hold your breath until this match finishes, because Lord knows what's going to happen. We have no way of knowing. Oh, that's tough.
I don't know why they nerfed Kyron, by the way. Why did they bring his health down? Like,
I
12 was...
heard it was something to do with a bug. I thought I read that on the forums, that there was some bug that happened when he had, yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
What?
Yeah, no, it was something with the Plunder Imp, and he caused some bug with, and then so they had to adjust his attack or adjust his health, and yeah, I don't
Plunder
know.
Imp,
This sounds ridiculous, I know, but
Plunder Imp looks at the attack, not at the toughness.
I
Not,
know. I'm saying it. I know it sounds ridiculous. I just feel like that was what I read. I could be wrong. Someone in chat, tell us.
yeah, someone in chat tell us. I think it's just a nerf, and I don't understand why they nerfed it. There was a bug... What? This card never won into sight? Yeah, but changing the health wouldn't do anything, it wouldn't make any difference to that. Sure, there might have been a bug, but like that has nothing to do with the health on level 3. Also, doesn't trying to imp read for attack.
Well, I love Stoneblade. I love the game that they've made, but they certainly do have a history of inelegant fixes. You know,
Yeah. So Plunder Imp, guys, it can't be a bug fix. That makes no sense, guys. Plunder Imp reads looks at the attack of the creature. Why would reducing the health make a difference? So there must have been a bug fix, sure, but I think there was also a nerf. There's no reason why, the interaction with Plunder Imp would change by changing the health.
I don't have an answer for you. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe someone in chat, maybe someone who's done some QA could weigh in here.
guys, what you're saying in chat makes no sense.
Oh, 17-12. So Mike just needs a howl now. It was never looking great, but it's looking, pretty bad now. It'll be interesting to see what else Fifth Faction has planned, what they've got as a counter to this life drain Echoes deck.
Yeah, it would be
I
very
gotta
interesting.
say, I think they've played two decks that are heavy on Justicar already. I don't know if they'll just have another one, and I think
They
Justicar
must
is a
have a
great
Dinos
card for
deck
this
somewhere.
matchup.
They must have a Dinos deck somewhere.
Yep, yep. How do you think this deck Mike's running would fare against Dinos? With it's got the big Ebon Skulls, which can help, and it's got some life drain, which maybe could help. I don't know about I don't know though. Dinos is that's a tough one.
Yeah. Uh, how many Justicars is Mike running? Do you know?
In this deck, Mike, I don't know. I should have that handy.
That's okay. That's okay because we haven't been revealing deck lists. So we don't need to.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're right. Maybe I.
No, but Mike was saying though, like he doesn't care. Like, he's okay with it. But
Oh. Well,
I
Mike's
think
a
at the
good
end of
guy,
the
but I'm his teammate, and maybe I care a little. So
okay, okay,
maybe we'll hold off on that until the end. But he
okay,
certainly has one or two that we've seen.
yeah. Oh, you mean, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you don't want to reveal this before letting the guys. So people in chat have finally, clarified the way in which it was a change of stats.
Okay.
So what's going on is the creature level 3 was initially a 612, and that's what was enabling you to, make the lower level imps, force you to discard it. And then they wanted the total stats to be kind of balanced. So what they did is they pumped the health by the attack by 6, but reduced the health by 6. I mean, okay,
I
sure.
would call that a
There's a
classic.
programming problem there still if you can have a card that's supposed to make you discard creatures, make you discard a spell. I mean, look.
Let's hope that they get a little bit more flexibility with that kind of thing in the with the new client, and they wouldn't have to change a card necessarily because of a bug like that.
It's a joke.
That doesn't seem like the best solution.
And the other thing is, like, level 3, Chiron was never amazing.
Right. No,
Most
he
people
wasn't
agree.
something you wanted on board really anyway, and now you really don't.
That's the thing, yeah. So, like, most people, would say, if Scythe stopped at level 3 and just, like, wouldn't level beyond that, be a much better card.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing a potential comeback from Holy Ghost here.
Yeah, Mike has not drawn a howl, I guess, for the last three turns.
He's a howler, like a Crypt Conjurer, Tendrils, and
Yep.
Oh.
His deck is capable of winning at any moment with the just a couple cards, but it hasn't been clicking. It looks like he's gonna have another turn to try and get it.
Goodness. Yeah, I see what you say, people in chat. I just think that, that means that there was bad programming from the outset, and that instead of changing the bad programming, you just changed the card's stats, which is bizarre.
Oh man, we're getting close here. Wow. Plus the 5 to the face potentially from Shatterbolt. This was so close to lethal here. Closer than I thought he could possibly get.
Yeah. So the odds are still, the odds are very good now that Mike will be drawing Hal.
Yep. Yep, just checking. Not quite enough.
Yeah. Hal does it. But it's going to turn on just that. And
oh no.
Never sells.
Is this a slow roll here, or does he not have it again?
Crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Mike's he's making us wait.
No. Well, Holy Ghost, slow rolled a few things twice, so,
Good games, guys. That was
that was ridiculous.
Yep.
That was fun.
All right, so I'm gonna pause the stream now. We're gonna try and sort out our technical difficulties there and get the final competitor from Fifth Faction Online. And I'm real excited for the next game, guys. Stay tuned. All right.
You're gonna be staying on it. So, yes.